everybody. We are back after a little bit of break. We are back after a very disastrous performance, in my opinion. Like one of the very worst performances I've seen from a Real Madrid side, and wasn't even a depleted side. You know, wasn't like we were missing so many players. Like I don't know what happened. The aftermath was crazy. Like I couldn't even like resonate with my team that I saw over the past few weeks, how they were on a high. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting episode. So fasten your seatbelts, and I'll go on to Hoke and Farouk. How are you guys doing? And what did you think about the 1-0 loss at Getafe?
Man, it's a new year, man. Instead of we getting happy New Year's, we're like 14 New Year's, man. It was just like, man, like literally I was just like speechless. Like there was nothing to say, man. Because like, how can you react to even nothing? You can't even react to something. Really, it was just like, okay, maybe you guys can help me here. But like, was there any chance in the game actually? I think Modric hit the bar, right?
Yeah.
And then
Modric had a couple of chances. Casemiro had a long shot, which was saved.
Those are not chances, man. That's just creating something out of nothing.
Yeah, half chances, basically. Yeah.
Like literally, I don't know. Like the point is, to be honest, like if I'm Getafe, right, and I'm a Madrid supporter myself, I score in the 4th minute, for sure I'm sending 11 men behind the ball. I don't care. That's just it. Like there's no other way.
No.
And like you just, to be honest, man, like I try to give Militao a lot of love, but like you just, wonder, man, what's up really like.
It's a brain fart, bro. It can happen. Like I wouldn't pile it all on him. Like
definitely. You can say a lot of things, but like eventually you just have to start thinking like, and the thing is this also, like it's not just about we lost the game or what. Like, it's just like we could have been playing till today, Tuesday, right? And we still would have created a chance. It's not even scored. No, we would still not have created a chance.
Exactly.
Maybe by mistake they just do something stupid and one of them get a red card or something like that. Because like I think their captain, actually I can't remember his name. Like I think if he played for 15 more minutes, for sure he was gonna get sent off. Okay, so like maybe that might have happened, but other than that, it was just pure shit, man. Horseshit, pure horseshit, man.
Okay, dig in. Your turn.
Yeah, like for me personally, first of all, I would like to say like I didn't wish you guys formally, but yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah,
and like it's good to be back after such a long time. Like, but for me personally, I thought I was really disappointed with how the whole game went, because I'll be honest with you guys, the first half I kind of like, it was too early in the morning for me to wake up and watch the game, but yeah, somehow I woke up at halftime and I started watching the second half, but the second half was like, it was like our whole attack was so impotent, and when Tony Cruz is giving the ball away in the final third, you know what kind of performance that is going to be. And like I was literally like, I have to be honest, I was like kind of groggy, so I didn't really make out how the whole tactical thing was going on. But like honestly,
for me, about being groggy, bro, I was groggy by fucking watching it. Like I was drifting in and out of coma. I felt like watching that performance, because it was seething, bro. Like even Espanyol, like I texted in the group, if you guys remember, I mentioned Espanyol was a much more stronger performance, because there was fight. People actually wanted to win the game, and we just fell short on at Espanyol. But yeah, like a couple of days ago against Getafe was a complete different performance. Like there wasn't any sort of a fight, there wasn't any sort of a do or die mentality. There was nothing. It was just plain, I don't know, man, plain nothing. Like just like what Carlo mentioned in the press conference, like the players actually took an extra day off. Like I don't know, they got.
Yeah, I personally resonate with that fact that Carlo Ancelotti came out and said that okay, fine, it was like players were taking an extra day of vacation, because I personally agree with it. I thought the whole performance, like that parts that I watched, were really disappointing, because when Benzema and Tony Cruz are having games of that like that, and there's no Vinicius, we literally had no chance of winning the game. And like although I did not watch it live, but I personally remember watching the goal that Madrid conceded, because I went back and watched some highlights, at least of the goal. And the reaction was kind of disappointing because like Casemiro and Militao, they were after they conceded the goal, they were smiling. Okay, I know they probably thought that somehow we are going to score again, but it was like it kind of felt like these guys that they were taking this game a little bit lightly. They were like, "Oh, it's just Getafe."
So
There was
that
a
was
bit
gonna
of
be my next
complacence.
point actually. Like the point now becomes like I think we last discussed and you guys were like we're 8 points ahead and the guys have a game in hand and what is not. I think if I'm not mistaken, Sevilla wins the game in hand and it's 2 point or 1 point cap. I'm not sure.
2 point.
So literally any draw you're level on points. I feel like I think complacency is the word actually. We became complacent really, to be honest. That's just it. Complacency.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think complacency is what cost us the game, against Getafe.
Because really, to be honest, like I think we've given Asensio a lot of love on this show, but like to be honest, like it doesn't matter Asensio or Rodrigo, like it was just pure garbage, to be honest.
Non-existent. At least I felt like the Burger King came on and did something. He tried to like shake his ass around for a bit. Like at least he tried. But the guys who started the game, man, appalling. Like I remember an instance like right after the goal, they almost scored another one.
Exactly.
From the very next attack. Like
exactly. So I don't know. I just feel like really we also have like problems, and it comes back to the point that okay, we just say like okay, Ancelotti doesn't like to rotate and what is not. Okay, like COVID also played its part, but like it's 2020. Okay, it's 2022 now. Isco should not be playing for Real in 2022. That's just really. If the inspiration we have, like I love Marcelo a lot, but if the inspiration we have is to change Mendy for Marcelo after 45 minutes, I'm sorry. I would rather get Miguel on the field, to be honest.
Really. Miguel has some serious issues, like I read on the sub and elsewhere as well. Like, okay, if you can.
Yeah, I actually read it. He actually has ulcerative colitis, and they said he's been suffering it from 2020 actually. Oh. So it's sort of debilitating, and I think it's really difficult to play with that disease. And I remember one other guy who used to have it was Darren Fletcher, and I think after he had it, his career kind of like sort of tailed off. So I'm kind of worried
and whatnot that you can't keep up.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for him. I hope he'll be back very soon. And there was some encouraging news that he would actually be slowly eased into the side in the coming months.
Yeah, so the thing is like it depends on how he responds to treatment. Hopefully everything goes well for him and his disease is not very severe. Maybe it's just mild. So hopefully he can continue. But like I hope nothing serious happens. Like this is one guy I really like, and I think he has the potential.
Like, but like going back to Farouk's point about Marcelo, bro, I understand Marcelo getting hate. He is not the same anymore and whatnot. He gave it a shot. He was at least he kind of made me feel like okay, there's at least like a half decent player left in Marcelo still. He gave the match a go. The guys who started didn't. The guys who stayed didn't.
I think the thing with Marcelo is like when teams are sitting back and not really trying to attack him, he's still a good player because his technique is always going to be there. His ability with the ball is always going to be there. The issue is that he does no longer have the stamina to track back, and he was never a good defender.
Yeah, he was never a good defender, but like in games like this where people just sit back and it's the last 20-25 minutes, he can do a job, and he did a job. And I felt like there was a shot pull on him, like his shot was stuck in the penalty box, and like he didn't fall down. Like if I was him, I would have definitely gone on the floor and called a fucking ambulance right away, because that was a clear pen. Like he was tugging away at his shirt and he's asking the ref, like, didn't you see this? Of course they're gonna say like, like, why are you mourning? The reason why people go down if they find any sort of a contact is because these guys are not gonna give clear pens. Like they don't care unless and until you make a clear case that can be no longer brushed aside, and which might actually cost their jobs. Like they wouldn't pay any attention. So we had a couple
Personally, for me, I am not really sure when they use VAR and when they do not use VAR. It's like referees there, they have some sort of an allergy, or it's like their pride is at stake, because if they use VAR and it gives us a penalty, they're just gonna
Yeah.
be like, they're just gonna lose some respect points or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't really know, because I thought that was one where if he was not sure if it was a penalty or not, he should at least have gone to VAR. But
Actually, so
yeah.
about the VAR, like given like Sunaid knows better, like the Arsenal game. Anyways, so like
My
based on the
God.
Arsenal game, like there was some controversy there, and like based on that, I got to hear like people say like the pundits were talking about like what happened is that for the VAR you have to be like the error has to be clear and obvious. So like the referee tells them this is what I see, and then if the VAR referee sees that the referee missed something from what he narrated that he saw, then they ask him, okay, go to the VAR. But like if the ref narrates exactly what the VAR sees, then it means like the ref hasn't made an error. He just made a decision to not give a penalty.
I think that rule is more for the Premier League than it is for like the rest of the leagues. But yeah, personal like for me, I think because the way they were implementing VAR in, if you guys remember the Euros,
Euros, yeah.
yeah, I think even the World Cup they used VAR, so that was totally different to how it has become now. And because this clear and obvious thing is like it just sounds rubbish, to me
It's like
personally.
so vague, like really, it's so vague. Anyways, man,
Yeah.
like really, PK or no PK, man, to be honest, like we should have changed our midfield three at halftime if that was possible. I don't know. Really. Casemiro, Modric, and Cruz should have been gone by halftime. If that was possible. Really, like I don't like Ceballos to be honest, because I feel like the guy has already wasted what he could use. I feel like we should have gotten Ceballos on the pitch. Really. And like you could see, for example, Peter came up for I think for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes at the end, and he was better than Asensio and Rodrigo combined. At least he was able to beat someone. At least.
Okay, so here's the thing. There are two parts to your argument. The first thing, I agree with you that the midfield should probably have switched to a midfield two pivot and brought in Hazard and maybe kept on Asensio, because I didn't really watch Asensio, or maybe brought on Peter earlier. But the thing about
Consistent.
Peter and most of the Castilla forwards is this: they have really bad decision making in the box. They're like, okay, when you go to the subreddit and outside, everybody would think that, okay, this guy Peter, he's really good. Yeah, he's good. He's got skills. But the thing is, like, once they get inside the box, this guy doesn't know when he should be shooting and when he should be passing.
Who are you
So
talking about? Peter?
yeah,
Yeah.
Peter. It's like this guy, like everybody at Castilla, because from what I have watched, they really need to improve the decision making in the box. So
Actually, I think I could recall it's the same actually with last season. Also, there was a guy called Marvin. It was
Marvin, yeah.
something similar. Like also he had the skills, but he had no decision making. But that's to be expected, man. These guys are like 18, 19, so like for sure this. But the
I
thing
see a
was that
player in
no one
Peter.
was making anything happen. Like this is the point I'm trying to make. Like nothing was happening literally. Like we were just going like it was just going Marcelo back to cross to Modric to Vasquez back again to him, and then to Casemiro, and then to Militao, and then to Alaba, and they just kept going, and like nothing, man. It was like there was no sense of urgency, man.
Like, apart from the, like, since you mentioned Alaba, I just want to like bring up the fact that they were just, I don't know, they were doing something else, like at Getafe, Alaba and Militao, they looked a shadow of themselves. They didn't know where their partner was. Like the awareness on most counters Getafe had was shocking, man. I've always been very vocal about Alaba's center back, adaptability and whatnot, and like he has proven me wrong for almost half a season now. But at Getafe, I saw why exactly people have their reservations regarding this center back partnership, and I'm gonna like tread back on it and like slam this down again. This center back pairing might not take us very far. It's
Yeah, personally, I agree with you when it comes to Alaba and Meta, because I don't think they are really good, very good aerially, and they have their weaknesses. But like going back to the point that Farouk was making, especially about Peter, and the thing that I was trying to say was like, okay, even if we had bought Peter and he has this skill set, his ability to take his man on, but the thing is like the biggest issue was the fact that we did not have Benzema functioning. It's like we could have had anybody on the field but if Benzema is not working, nothing
Yeah.
is going to happen, And Benzema and then Cruz. Cruz was also misplacing passes all over the pitch. Yeah, the thing is, like, I remember watching the second half. Mariano came on, but the ball didn't even reach Mariano.
Yeah.
So
Just
what's the
one.
point of playing Mariano?
At a header, which he just
Yeah, that was like that was towards the latter stages of the half. But like
yeah.
when he came on in the middle, the ball was not even reaching him.
No,
So
no.
yeah, the issue I think was like between Benzema, Cruz, and the midfield, the guys who build our attacks out of the middle. Those guys were not functioning. So I think when they are not functioning, this team doesn't
Modric
function.
looked right. Like he was very active. Like I can't blame Modric for this performance. He was good.
Yeah,
Casemiro looks yeah.
for me personally, it's like I think our Cruz and Benzema were not really on their game.
Mm,
Like despite how big a Benzema fan I am, I don't have really any what should I say? I don't really have any doubts in admitting that Benzema was like one of our worst players
Yeah, the
against
thing is
Getafe.
that you can be on fire every day. Everyone has a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
It's just that it's just interesting how everyone shuts down on the same day. Really, like how
I've told
everyone
you
has
guys.
a bad
I've told you
day on the
guys.
same day.
I've told you guys from at least episode 3 or 4 that if Benzema and Vinicius has an off day, it's game over. It's game over.
No, man.
Because people can't
If
say
Vinny has an off day, then it can be a 0-0 draw at least, okay? Or it can be a 1-1 draw, okay? Well, the point is, when Benzema is having an off day in the attack and also the defenders are having an off day, then what's left of the team? Nothing.
That's the thing, bro. Like defense wins you titles and all that shit. Like I get it. Like I can empathize with that. But if your attack doesn't bag you goals, like no matter how many clean sheets you have, like it's not gonna count.
But okay,
Like,
guys, why don't we address the broader issue here? When we play against teams with low block, we seem not to be able to do shit. This is the point. Even when Vinicius was playing, even when Benzema was on form, I don't know, because I feel like, is it that our midfield doesn't take that much risks, or like I don't know, don't we? Because the point is, we can watch teams in England, for example, and Bayern Munich to some extent as well. Like these guys are patiently build up, and almost like trademark like goals, whereby you have just to the wing, and from the wing just a cutback and it's a goal.
Bro, Bayern is a bad example. Like no offense, Bayern is a bad example because low blocks in Germany is a myth. City, yeah, that's a bang on example. Like they know how to dig out low blocks.
Well, actually, not just City, because I could recall as well, like, okay, maybe not Liverpool of now, but I could recall in 2018, 2019, like, Liverpool could break to literally any team. There was this diagonal ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold to Robertson to Salah or Mane, and it was a goal.
You just mentioned it yourself. The wing backs, man. The key, like I'm no Ralph Ragnick, but like, and from my very layman's eyes, I know for a fact that the deep blocks, whenever teams face deep blocks, the major key is their wing backs, and the wing backs being explosive, direct, crossing first time, like pinging in balls first time, always overlapping. If there isn't an overlap option, they cut inside, become inverted. Like they gotta be on their game if a team needs to penetrate a low block. Our wing backs, the situation. Like I need it. Go into it much more.
I think the broader issue, like there are two issues with this one. Okay, first thing is like La Liga as a whole, has become very defensive these past few years, because every team is literally setting up low blocks, and that's how they are playing against the big teams, be it Barcelona or Real Madrid. So the issue for me is like Sunet pointed out, the crossing of the fullbacks, because without Carvajal, last season I think Lukas Vasquez was good at crossing, but this season he is not as good. And then on left we don't really have a good crosser, because for Lamendi, for all his defensive ability, is not really good offensively. And I think personally Miguel was somebody who has the ability to cross and create passes that go across the lines. So without him, I think we're missing that out. And Marcelo, that if we use him, it's like we don't really have anybody to defend. And as for the comparison with Liverpool, Bayern, and City, the thing is like they play in a league that is fast paced, right? If you look at how Premier League in general plays, all the teams they're looking to get out, they're looking to dribble the ball and try to score a goal. In La Liga, it is not there. All they want to do is like, if they get an opportunity to counterattack, we'll counterattack. Otherwise, we'll just sit back. In Bundesliga, they don't really defend, so we don't really have to talk about them. But in Premier League, every team is looking to get out, and I think that really plays into Liverpool's hands, because they really play a high-paced game, and then they press high with their gegenpressing that Klopp has implemented really well over there. So I think that really helps them. But with City, the thing is like with City, Pep's tiki-taka tactics are really something else. Like they have the ability to drag their players around and create chances out of nothing. But like Barcelona used to do it under Pep, even when they played against us, they would just ping these balls behind the defense, and the fullbacks used to make these runs in behind that I don't think any other team has the ability to make. Or maybe I don't know. It was really something special. So City does that, and I think they're really good at it. And for us, we really lack a presence in the midfield. In football, there's something called zone 14, and we don't really occupy that. And we're not able to, send balls through and get our striker like Benzema to run in behind. So I think that really hurts.
For the listener, and for myself, what is zone 14? Can you just elaborate?
Okay, zone 14 is this area just outside the box. An area that you expect the attacking midfielder to occupy. Like
cut back and shoot, cut back or find a final pass. Okay.
Just think of it as an area that a midfielder plays balls from into the box. Imagine that you're watching Mesut Ozil play, and then try to think which would be the area that he occupies the most, and that would be zone 14.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So personally, I think we lack a presence over there and the ability to create chance from there, because most of our attacks, they tend to come from around the left half space around the box. So when people are blocking, most of the defenders, they are concentrated on the opponent team's right side, which is our left side. So and especially in a game like this where Cruz was having a really bad game, we really struggled. Cruz and Benzema both.
Well, to be honest, I was feeling like when Cruz was having a bad game, like why do we have to sub on Esco? To be honest, really, I don't know. To be honest, I thought Ceballos was a better option. I think, in my opinion.
Like personally, for me, the thing is like Isco has the ability to recycle possession, and Isco is a player who can play around the box. Who can play these little 1-2s and create chances and drag defenders. So I do agree. As for Ceballos, I don't really know how he has evolved as a player, but for me personally, I think he's somebody who plays a little bit deeper than Isco. Like maybe Sunet can tell us better about Ceballos.
He plays deeper. He plays much deeper than Esco. But I don't know, man. Like we haven't seen anything from Ceballos in over a year, so it's hard to call. But anyways, boys, we are running short on time. Any final thoughts?
Question: what's up with Carvajal, by the way? Any news? Does anyone have any information on him?
I am not sure. I remember after that Atleti game, he was injured. But after that, I don't know what's happening with him. I just know that Carlo today, he talked about Bale, but I don't think he talked about Carvajal. So I'm not really sure.
It's like really like lack of Carvajal is a big deal, man, really. Because that's my problem, actually. Like I love Carvajal to the core, but like we can't just, he's so important to the team that like we can't just, keep having him for 5 games and then lose him for 3 games, And the point now is like we're getting to the point where a draw means we're equal. A draw and a severe wins mean we're equal points, And we're like 8 points away, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, even less than 2 weeks ago, man. And all of a sudden it's just, it's gone, man. So I don't know. I just, that's why I always feel like, really like, are we going to rely on Carvajal? Like, he's so good, to be honest. You can't deny that. On his day, he's one of the very best in the world, but like, to what extent then?
I think the issue over here is like, can we get a player who's willing to take a seat back, to Carvajal when he's fit, but be able to perform when he is not? Because I don't think there's a fullback in the world who can do what Carvajal does, even to maybe 50 or 60% of it.
Man, I'm not a believer in polygamy, man. We just have to do monogamy. You have to release one and get on down. It's just that simple, man.
Okay, even if we get Carvajal to take a back seat, maybe take a backup role. But the thing is like, okay, you bring in somebody else. Can they do the job as well?
Carvajal was supposed to be future captain. He was my captain at least. after Ramos. But
the thing is like, okay, fine. There are not many two-way fullbacks in the game today, right? Like if you want to invest in a right back of the future, it's like, okay, fine. We have Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is really good offensively, but defensively he sucks.
No.
And then we have like our own Hakimi, who like I think most of our fans and even us, we would agree like we should not have sold him, but he's gone now, and bringing him back is like it's really difficult.
Yeah.
And currently in the Valdebebas, there is this saying going around that we will not pay a penny to PSG. So I'm not really sure how Hakimi is coming back, even though he wants to come back. And then the other option, the one that I have seen linked with it is Pedro Porro. But honestly, first of all, for me, he plays in the Portuguese league, so I'm not really sure how good he is, like how reliable that is as a barometer of future success. And the second thing is like from what I have read about him and from what I have perceived, like this is not a statement based on fact, but this is my perception. It's like he slightly tends to be offensive, and he's this right back that can also play in right mid. And so another aspect of it is like Sporting Lisbon, like Sporting Club, they play with three defenders. So the fullback in that formation is slightly offensive. So how much of that is hiding his defensive, defensive deficiencies? So I don't really know. And the thing is, like, we bought in Odriozola to be able to compete with Carvajal, but we all know that he's not really good defensively, but he's okay going forward. So when we have Odriozola, I don't really know why we would want to invest in somebody like Pedro Porro.
Right back is like we can do a whole episode regarding right backs. But to wind it up, boys, like any final thoughts on Getafe? We need to move on to the crux of this episode.
Okay, for me personally, I hope that this was just one of a game and we don't really have a repeat of it. I hope Benzema comes into form again. I have heard some rumors that maybe he picked up a knock or something. I pray that is not true. And because we are missing Jovic, and personally, I don't want to see Mariano play 90 minutes again against Valencia. So
apparently, Jovic never got negative after the it's been what 3 weeks now.
No. Jovic was. I think Jovic gave a positive test like a week ago.
Oh, okay, just a week ago, eh? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the same day that I think it was like 29th or something.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So we're still gonna be missing Jovic. So.
Yeah.
So I hope Benzema is okay, and this was just a one-off game.
Same. Farouk?
Never the same again. That's just it, man. Never.
Yeah, please don't put me through that. Like I can take heart attacks like 1-0, 2-1. I can take that any day, but that was
it
was completely impotent, man. I was like the whole.
What important is an understatement, man. Really, to be honest. Like wow, if you're important, like there could be a miracle, and one day, one way you can become potent, one way or another. But like that game was like wow. It was just I don't know. There's no word in English actually that can depict the game. I don't know.
It's dysfunction, bro. Anyway, so let's move on to the main topic, and we gotta keep this short. We are already like half an hour in, and we got so much to delve into. So, some of you may know, and this is our first shot at this. So, you gotta give us the leeway of being novices, but just so that it's out there. So we're gonna do a mid-season player ratings review, and it's gonna be a bit controversial. It's gonna be a bit lopsided, and some of them might be very obvious as well. But bear with us, and we'll try to give out our best honest takes, and of course some added hot takes too. Starting on with the goalkeeper, Lunin never really featured much. So Thibaut, man, Thibaut the Wall.
Yeah, for me personally, if I was trying to judge Thibaut Courtois over like the entire season, I think he's the only guy I would give a 10 out of 10 to, because I think this guy has been our rock. He has been our wall, and you can depend on him. Every game that he has played this season, he has pulled out something. Because despite how good we have been attack, the reason why our defense has been as good as it is because of Courtois. even if some attacks get past our defense, Courtois is
Yeah.
always there to stop them. So I think this guy is the only 10 out of 10 player this season.
So actually, let me just add two more statement and give a rectification there. So it's not even if an attack gets past, it's when an attack gets past our defense. It's not about matter of if. To be honest, like I think we've said this like literally every game. The man has to put out man, really, I don't know, man. I could just recall, the first season he was sharing with, Kalo and him, and I was like, wow, this is just pure garbage. I still love Kalo Navas, but like the way Courtois has turned this around, man, it's just show what kind of a top.
Unbelievable. I used to cuss this guy for days, for weeks. This guy, I labeled him as a snake.
For me personally, I was a big Courtois fan because even when he was at Athletic, he was one guy that I really wanted, like maybe in the future, maybe as a because at that time Casillas was our goalkeeper. I thought maybe this guy could be the replacement. And when he came, I was kind of happy because although like I respect Keylor Navas, but I think he has his limitations.
Actually, the point is, this was the point actually. What I actually did not like was about this. I get your statement very well, but I just felt like sometimes, like I feel like we Madrid fans, we actually did not understand what Keylor Navas had done for us. Like we did not fully, because I felt like if it was a Casillas or like a David De Gea that was in the post, like we were literally gonna be worshipping,
I honestly, like, I don't know. I wasn't among any huge.
For me personally, I respect Keylor Navas because I especially feel bad for him because for everything that he had to go through at Madrid, especially that failed De Gea transfer saga. But the thing is, like, if you remember, watching in 2017-18, he had the propensity to make mistakes. And if you remember the game against Juventus, he literally let the ball out, and that led them to score the third goal. So for me, I think Keylor Navas is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but I think he has some weaknesses. And Courtois for me
is pretty evident, bro. It's his height. It's his height.
Yeah, for me, Courtois is like one of even Courtois for me has always been one of the best keepers. Like he challenges to be the best keeper in the world, and right now I think on current form, Courtois is the best keeper in the world.
100%. Actually, yeah. But
I'll tell you a hot take. Okay, I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but Thibaut Courtois' lows are much lower than Keylor Navas. I'll bet on that because I've seen it at Chelsea multiple times. So like there's been clutch moments where he has been a huge part of them winning the league and whatnot, but he has his downs as well. So I hope it doesn't come with us. I hope he is as majestic as he has been all throughout the season and at the past. And long may it continue.
I'll just say this. The thing is, like, the style of goalkeeper that Keylor Navas is and the style of goalkeeper that Iker Casillas was, it was like these are very acrobatic keepers and they make a lot of acrobatic saves that get highlighted a lot. And Thibaut Courtois is more traditional keeper, So he is this shot stopper, and he does have an obvious weakness that because of his height, he's really poor at defending balls that are shot at his feet. But overall, I think he's a much better keeper than Keylor Navas. Like personally, I think he's a much better keeper than Keylor Navas.
Fair enough. So yeah, Hoke gave it 10. Farouk, what are you going to give him?
I'm not going to go as far as a 10 because, like, let's just say a 10 is a number that should not be gotten. So let's just leave it as 9.
Yeah, but like on how he has performed like half season, I think he's a 10. For me personally, he's a 10. He's been the best player.
Fair enough. For me as well, he's a 9. A very strong 9.
Very strong, exactly.
Like almost every match day, like he has to pull 2 saves out of his behind. It's mad, but he has been constantly doing it, like constantly saving us. So yeah, big ups to the Belgian, bro. He has been immense. Moving on to defenders, and this is where it gets tricky. Carvajal, bro. Yeah, we just touched about it.
If I'm going to be starting, I think Carvajal's biggest liability is his unavailability. So yeah, overall, I think when he plays well. Other than the fact that he has some off moments, I think the game against Sevilla he didn't really do well. So for me personally, overall, I would give him an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah,
that's great, but yeah.
Okay, maybe the thing is like for me, an average performance is like 6 to 7, and everything beyond that is really bad. But I think Carvajal has been better than average.
He's been better than average, but as you pointed out initially, the main thing is availability, you understand? So when a player is unavailable, like, no one cares how good he is. That's just it.
But the thing is, like, Carvajal has been available for majority of the season.
Well, not majority.
He has been there. The thing is,
like, we played with Fede Valverde as a fullback. We played with Lukas Vasquez at first in a couple of games, and what is not.
That happened before. Like, I think that happened before, like, at the start of the season, like 2 or 3 games. But he has been there, and he played through the entire stretch of games where we had a really tough schedule, and he was there.
Okay, I get your point. Yeah, he was there. He was available during that period.
So yeah, overall, I think, and the thing is, like we already discussed in this episode, Carvajal is one of those rare fullbacks that gives you something on both ends of the field. Yeah. So for me personally, I think I would just give him an 8.5.
Okay, for me, I give him a 7, man. I give him a 7. Like, to be honest, like, it's just what I just said. Like, the unavailability is just, I just feel it's something that affects the. Otherwise, he would have been like a solid 8. But I just feel like a 7 is better because of the unavailability.
Okay. First of all, the thing is, like, I think all of us have our own mental scales of how we rate players, because, like, for me, someone is a 5 might end up being a 4 or 3 for you. So we have to keep that in mind. And
it swings and roundabouts. So don't worry, it's your personal opinion. Go for it. Like, nobody's gonna question you. But yeah, if we see a hot take, we're gonna tag it as a hot take. So it's
okay,
just
no problem.
Yeah. So just to clear this, Sunaid would not lock us in a room and question us why we disagreed with this.
No. That's for the.
I hope Sunaid doesn't make us sit and watch an Arsenal game.
Anyway, so Carvajal, for me, similar to Farouk, I think a 7 would be decent. Like, he has been immense in games which he has been a part of, and for me, still his tendency to go missing through injury of all kinds. I don't know. Like, he has had so many different kinds of injuries all throughout his career. Over here, I just hope someone finds a juju guy and does some juju on this guy to let him stay fit, and because he is an integral part of how we attack, how we defend. So a proper leader.
Just to give a background, I think the issue is, like, Carvajal, he tends to get muscular injuries.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, once you start getting muscular injuries, once you get these muscular tears and everything, when they heal with scar tissue, and scar tissue is not really as strong as the normal muscular tissue. So there's a propensity to get injured. And for me, maybe I'm somebody who has made peace with the fact that Carvajal is never going to be fit for the entire season. The fact that he was available for 2019-20, the whole season, was a surprise for me. But going forward, I know that Carvajal is going to miss some games. So yeah, I've made my peace with it.
So yeah, Carvajal 7s and 8.5s, not bad. He's been really good. Militao, yeah.
Eder Militao. Okay, let me just start with this one. Like, to be honest, like, I just, I'm so happy for Militao because, okay, like, just forget about the last brain fart, and it happens to everyone, even the best of us. So, I just feel like, coming to Real from Porto, and he came and he met, Ramos and Varane, and these guys were like immovable walls, So, and he just sat, he kept his head down. I don't recall, Militao complaining about anything, man. He never just, came out and like, no, I have to play this and that, He just put his head down, he had some really shitty performances when Ramos was out or Varane was out. Well, last season, all of a sudden something changed, man, and he started, and so far so good this season, man. He's shown that he can do the job. Like, he's okay. Yeah, obviously we still have some laps and errors, but I feel like the development is there. You can feel like this guy can actually get there. And he's still very young, So I feel like, this guy can actually get there. So for that, I'll just give him like a 7.5.
Not bad. Okay.
You told so many good things and you ended up with a 7.5 for him.
Like, literally the highest I have given is a 9. So if I start to give an 8, so it doesn't work out that way. A 7.5 is a decent point.
Okay. For me personally, the highest I gave is a 10.
Exactly.
I think most players for me are going to be between 9 and 10. Like the ones who have performed really well.
Yeah.
So for me personally, actually I'm confused. But maybe I think the fact that he's available and he's performed puts him above Carvajal for me.
Yeah.
If we were doing a squad ranking, but the thing is, like, he has a mistake in him sometimes, So overall, I think if I was going to give him a rating, I would probably put him at 8.5.
Fair enough. Similar to Farouk for me, 7 or 7.5 should be good enough. Like he has been immense. He has barely put a foot wrong, like apart from the obvious Getafe giveaway. But for me, one thing, if Militao was a friend of mine and he would ask me, yo, bro, like, what should be my New Year's resolution be? Better finishing at set pieces. As simple as that. Better heading. Like just you have the height, you have the leap to find some sort of contact on a ball getting pinged in, but you gotta just put it in the back of the net, save your team some time. So yeah, that'll be my advice to Militao. Like for me, he is very special to me because I'm a huge Brazil fan as well on the international stage, and him and Gabriel, I see them as being two pillars of the Brazil national team for years to come.
I was just waiting for when the Arsenal link will come into all this, man.
No, man, we got to big up Gabriel as well. He has been immense for us, like just in similar way to Militao.
Yeah, I mean, the disrespect to Marquinhos is like tangible here.
Marquinhos barely has 2 years left in him, bro. Like he is really good, but he's almost at the end of his career. But yeah, Militao, keep this up, bro, and you have a very bright future.
The thing is, like, Thiago Silva is 37 and he's still playing, and Marquinhos is not even 30, and you're saying that he only has 2 years left in his career.
Marquinhos is barely 30. He's in 30.
No, he's in 30.
Oh my god! Like I've been seeing him for like a decade. I thought he would be like mid-30s. My bad then. So yeah,
I think he's around the same age as Varane.
Is he? No way. He's not 28. No way. Marquinhos?
I can double check.
No, those guys have been around for a long time, so you actually tend to forget that they're actually,
Oh, okay, fair. If Marquinhos is still going strong, like I love the guy as well. Like
actually, he's younger than Varane. He's 27.
Fuck. Okay. But still, man, these guys are way young. It's like they have a 6-year head start. So Gabriel is, I think, younger than Militao as well. So there's so much potential in these guys to turn out as real big personalities for their clubs and their national teams. So Militao, big up, man. 7.5.
Yeah, and for me, the funny thing is trying to imagine him coming to Sunad and saying, "Yo, bro, what should I improve?" Because
that's just me being,
I get it. But if you guys have like watched him, like heard him speak ever, and you try to imagine it in his voice, and he's going, "Yo, bro," it's like, it's really funny.
You're just you're just a bully, bro. Okay, so let's move on to Alaba.
Yeah, for me personally, the thing is like on a defensive scale, I would put him like, I think Militao has been better, like as a pure defender. But the thing is, like Alaba brings something extra, especially his leadership and his ability to provide offensive impetus. So for me, on the whole, I would rate him a 9.
Yeah, for me, actually, similarly, I agree with you. Like, because I gave Militao a 7.5, I would have given Alaba a 7. But really, because of his leadership and like really that should not be underrated, he also gets a 7.5.
For me, Alaba is a clear 8. Like I've cast him out on multiple occasions where he doesn't know what he's doing when he's dealing with aerial balls and whatnot. But his ability to drive out of the defense, provide an extra option going forward, he is mad. He does some mad stuff, just like what Ramos did. So, like we haven't missed Ramos as much.
The ability of Alaba to
Ramos' game is still there in Alaba, and that's a huge credit to him.
Yeah, the ability of Alaba to like step in and replace Alaba, not only just when it comes to the jersey number, but also in his play style. I think it cannot be overstated.
Yeah, it's like perfect fitting of a glove. Like the squad loves him. He brings people together. Like Alaba is a proper guy, and I hope he just keeps improving and keeps doing his bits, man. He has been immense. 8 for Alaba. Vallejo, we needn't speak much about him. Nacho Fernandez.
For me, Nacho, like okay, I think he has made a few mistakes. Like he has this tendency where he's overcommitting,
Yeah.
especially at the beginning of the
Oh, I
season. And
remember.
sorry,
Mm. I remember an instance. I don't remember who it was against, but I was seething. He overcommitted, and that led to a goal.
I think it was
Um,
against Espanyol.
oh yeah. The first goal, right?
No, I think it was the second one. But he has overcommitted in another game that has led to a goal. I don't remember who it was against. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like not the only time. So overall, I think personally he has not been as good as he was during the previous season. So
Yeah.
for me personally, I would give him a 7 or maybe 7.5. I don't know, 7 or 7.5.
5 for a player that's been below average. Okay.
Yeah,
It's like okay, I told you guys. For me, 6 to 7 is like average, and I think Nacho has been average. So
Okay. That's the Hawkeye scale, people.
yeah,
So Farooq.
yeah. For me, actually, I was gonna go like a 5.5
Mm.
because I feel like actually if it was last season, I would give Nacho maybe a 7 or 7.5. Because actually last season I was quite impressed with him a lot. Well, this
Yeah.
season actually he didn't start very well, and yeah, as you guys just pointed out, like there's been a lot of lapse in concentration. But one thing is that he's our soldier, man. Like he just does whatever he's. The point is that there are people who are limited, but you cannot question their commitment.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those people. Like he's just gonna do whatever you ask him to do. Like he's gonna do what he can do, but like okay, yeah, we know it's not enough, but this is just what I can give, and for that, really, like I respect the man a lot, really. So just give a 5.5 to be a bit fair.
Yeah. Similar. I'll give him a 6.5 for his ability to step in almost anywhere across the defense. Like, yeah, like I've been like mad at him for instances like what just Hoke alluded to earlier, like his overmitting and like his ability to go missing when tracking back and whatnot. But for me, like he is a valuable squad player, and we'll need him for the rest of the season and beyond. So yeah, Nacho gets a 6, and I hope he improves. Marcelo, I don't think we need to speak much, but yeah, Marcelo.
yeah. For me personally, based on the season, he's like a 6. I don't know. I haven't really been impressed. I think it's just been average, and I don't really
Average.
like as much as I love him for his past achievements. I don't really think he has contributed much this season.
He didn't have much minutes, so it makes sense.
Like
Farooq,
even in the minutes that he had, it didn't really make something happen.
yeah, he didn't pull up trees. I would say that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't give a number to Marcelo because, like, I respect and love the man so much. So, like, let me not give any disrespect to the legend, So let's just don't give a number and just,
NA. Okay, for Marcelo. So I'll just give him a standard 5. He hasn't been like I haven't like probably I would have just screamed at him like maybe once. Apart from that, like he didn't pull up any trees or he wasn't banging on Carlos' door. Yo, like stop smoking, let me in. Like anyway.
The way these player ratings are going, I feel like I am sitting with two editors from L'Equipe, and they're really strict with their ratings. They're really miserly. And I have this one of these people who just starts giving our rating points to everybody.
Farooq is basically the king of like what's the Black Panther of Wakanda, like he is like, I'm not gonna rate him, I'm just gonna not disrespect the legend. Oh my god. Anyway. Ferland Mendy, Black Pearl.
Let me take that. But Ferland Mendy really, I think we spoke with you guys about this. Like, really, like, I don't know. Like, he's the one person, like, really, I'm not sure about, man. Like, I feel like, is there a potential there or there isn't? Or like, this is just what he can't do, or this is just because he's such a good defender. And I feel like it's also something that gives Vinicius a platform to do what he does. On the other hand, as well, you just feel like, he gets into a lot of positions that, he just wastes.
That's so inviting. Just fucking whip a ball in, bro. Like he'll just ponder. Oh, what should I do?
He wastes a lot of opportunities. Like he gets a lot of openings and he just wastes them. Because you also feel like with the development of Vinicius now, like a lot of defenders are on him. So if we could recall, like with the Ronaldo and Marcelo relationship as well, it was like a lot of like Ronaldo took away a lot of defenders, which allowed Marcelo a lot of space to do his thing. Yeah. But with Mendy, it's not been so. Like he's just not able to. I don't know. to do those things. But one thing again, as I said, like he gives Vinicius a platform to do what Vinicius does, you know. So for that, I'll give him a solid 7, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me personally, I think Ferland Mendy is somebody who is really needed for the way our defense is structured right now. Because I think you really made a really good point that Marcelo and Cristiano, they used to dominate the left flank. But the thing that we often forget is that Sergio Ramos has the ability to defend both left back and center back, you know. And right now, David Alaba cannot do that. So David Alaba barely can defend, man. It's like the fact that he is defending at left center back is something that we are happy about. So for me, Mendy is really important in that defensive setup, and he has performed well in his defensive duties. Going into the attack, I think he has his weaknesses, but the contribution that he brings on the defensive end of the game, I think it overpowers whatever weakness he has offensively for me. And the fact is, like, Benzema is kind of able to play with Ferland Mendy, and Ferland Mendy is like, okay, fine, he's not able to go into the wider areas and ping and crosses. So but the passes that he makes around the box, his ability to play as an inside forward when we're attacking, is something that okay, maybe it does not overcome it to a great extent, but still he's provides with something in attack. So for me personally, judging over the season, his because when he came back, our defense totally changed. You know, before Mendy, our defense was very leaky, but once he came back, our defense totally changed. So overall, I would give him a 9.
A 9.
Yeah, I think he's one of the key players. He's one of the key players. So for
he's
me,
one of the key players. Yeah, like 9, I wouldn't even like question that much. Yeah, I was surprised, but there was a stat, I think, right up before the Getafe game. Whenever Mendy started, we have never lost or something, right?
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, I read somewhere that whenever Mendy has started this season, Real have never lost. So that's a huge thing, man. He shuts down the left flank and lets Vinny do his thing. You guys know he needs to improve his attacking output by a long margin. He still has a bright future. I hope he improves. It's this thing with players who rely on pace. When they have that much pace, they tend to forget what they can do with their feet. So yeah, I hope Mendy improves, man. Like he is a true leader in the defense.
I think personally, I don't really have much hope for him to improve because he's already 26. So I think,
but even then, there's slight tweaks here and there in how you approach a certain situation, a 2v1 situation, and like an overload on one flank is gonna make something, you know, work. You never know. Like I'm not fucking Jurgen Klopp, but yeah. Gutierrez, we didn't delve into him much. Barely played.
You didn't rate Mendy.
Oh, Mendy. Sorry, my bad. Mendy, I would give him an 8.5. Oh. He's been immense. Midfielders, bro. Holy Grail.
I think we need to talk about Miguel. I think we do need to talk about Miguel.
Miguel?
Yeah, because I think when he played, he had some defensive. In some games, he had some deficiencies defensively, but then he overcame it offensively. And I think the main reason that for me he's not playing is because Alaba isn't able to cover for him. So I think if Sergio Ramos was still there, I think Miguel Gutierrez might have given Mendy a run for his money for the left back spot. I think like his injury. Sorry.
Okay, guys, off topic a bit. Why did we stop going for Rudiger then? We could have gotten Tony Rudiger and played Alaba as a left back, Tony Rudiger as a left center back.
Rudiger was for insane money, man. I think that's okay.
For me personally, what I have read is like Rudiger is demanding like 12 million euros.
Alaba is 12 million euros, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Alaba is much more accomplished than Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger had like 1 year, like half a season where he was like maybe half this season, half last season where he has been absolutely world class.
Rudiger's AS Roma was a wall, man. The man was a fucking monster at Roma.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it was Roma. It's Serie A. You don't really rate Serie A as highly as, okay. First of all, those performances were like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. The second thing is like right now in the Premier League, he struggled with. Right now in the Premier League under Frank Lampard, he was not really good. So there are question marks about how he will perform in a 4-man backline, and he
Yeah,
has this
exactly.
propensity to step out and do the same things that Nacho did, and maybe make us pull our hairs out. So overall, and when he doesn't really come with a CV of an Alaba, because Alaba he has been good since he was like 17 or 18 years old. So
Alaba can-
Alaba asking 12 million euros is different to Antonio Rudiger asking 12 million euros.
Like,
Uh,
why in the world, bro? Real Madrid wants you. Like, you gotta pick up the phone and say, hey, you know what? Don't mention anything about money. Don't mention anything about excruciative clauses or anything. I just want to wear the white shirt. Boom. That's it. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You're being called to represent Real Madrid at 28.
Bro,
It's not something you
the
pass
point is
on.
this, like, to be honest, like I used to think that way, but the point is this is Rudiger's, last big contract, and he has to make and maximize this. That's just it.
Yeah, I get it.
If Real doesn't give 12, if Chelsea doesn't give 12, I can bet you guys a Paris will give a 12, or like, I don't know, even United will give a 11, something like that. There are teams out there we will give the cash to Tony Rudiger.
Yeah, let him take
personally, I do not understand why Paris would pay him 12, because they already have Marquinhos, Kimpembe, and Sergio Ramos. But
Ramos is a dead man walking, man. Like, he left us and we left him as well. So that's just it, man.
like for me personally, I think Real Madrid's offer is somewhere around 8.5 and 9 million euros. So maybe I would say this, like, don't completely rule out his signing. There's a
Yeah,
possibility.
well, because what I just think is that, like, to be honest, I feel like a 10 million euros would have been a fair offer, but I feel like 8, it's quite low, to be honest. Because
the thing is, like, we are giving him a signing bonus that is on par with what we gave Alaba. It's like 20 million euros.
I don't understand all this, man. Like, I get it, experienced people, like they're in their primes apparently for defenders, but we should be looking at younger signings. But I get the fact that when it comes to defense, you need maturity and experience.
The thing for me is, like, if you buy younger players, they need game time to develop. These players like Rudiger, they have the ability to step in and perform immediately. Exactly. Younger players, if they, the same thing happened with Theo and Rodrigo. They didn't give game time. Even Hakimi, when he was at Madrid, they didn't get game time and they didn't show their best ability.
That's a very valid point. Yeah, we should be moving on. We are short on time, very short. Tony Cruz, onto the midfield.
Okay, for me personally, Tony Cruz is he's a 9, because I think he's been one of the better performers. At the start, he was injured. Our team was not that really good. He comes back, team improves. So I don't really think we need to say anything. Tony Cruz is a 9 out of 10 player every game. Apart from the last game against Getafe, I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody stole his abilities or something for one match.
Somebody stole his boots. I think the boots he wear always. I think he just wore something else.
Maybe somebody colored his boots or something, and they were no longer white.
Some weird juju happened. Farouk.
Yeah. What can I say, man? Marcelo, man, the German sniper. Just the number on his shirt is the rating he gets, man, an 8.
Great. Absolutely immense. Connecting midfield and defense, putting a shift in, and he has honestly impressed me with his long shots this year, which he has like upped a level from his usual very very good long range goals. So yeah, Cruz has been immense. Like, we needn't talk much about these guys, perennial winners, born winners. So Luka Modric.
Okay, for me, Luka Modric is a 9.5. The only reason why he's not a 10 is because at the start of the season, I think he took some time to get into his groove, and we could see some aspects of age catching up to him. But especially towards as the season has progressed, especially in the busy part of the season, those few weeks, I think he was incredible, and I think he is one of the pillars of the team. So for me, he's a 9.5.
Yeah. For me, I'll give him an 8 as well, similar to Cruz as well. Like, I think really one thing is that I've just been surprised, like Modric, the way he plays. Like, he plays so effortlessly, man. In some games, just like the man is like 36, 37, and he's just let them just give him the contract, man. Like, there's no team. Like, he's the Ballon d'Or winner, so like that says all, man. Just 8 is good enough.
For me personally, the highlight, the fact that Modric at 37 can still get the Bernabeu off his feet, they can still he can still get them to give him a standing ovation is something really special, because the guys who come to the Bernabeu, they're like the older guys, they have seen everything, they've seen the loud rubs, they've seen Putragueños and everybody, and still this guy at 37 is able to outperform everybody else on the pitch is something really special.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take much time. I'm just gonna say 10. Perfect. Perfection personified. Luka Modric, one of the greatest to ever fucking kick a ball. So moving on. Asensio.
Oh, we want to do Asensio with the midfielders?
Yeah, that's what they rank him at. Asensio is a 6. Yeah, that's just it. Asensio is a 6.
Okay,
Yes,
for
right.
me, Asensio, probably I'll give him like a 7.5, maybe, because
No,
for
no
me, he's been
screaming.
average. He's been
No
average.
screaming 10.
For me, he's been average. He has put in some good performances and then some really bad ones. So I think it'll be like 7.5.
Yeah.
7.5. For me, 7. He had some good moments. 7 because it's a 6, but +1 for the kind of hope he has instilled in me that the old Asensio is right around the corner, and I hope he just moves through his rhythms and just comes back to his brilliant bests. Yeah,
And the old Asensio is on a really long siesta. He's not coming back.
he'll be back, bro, sometime soon, I hope. Yeah, moving on to the metronome, Casemiro.
Yeah, for me, Casemiro is like an 8.5. I don't really have much to say. I think he's good, but his weaknesses sometimes really do cost us. But overall, I think he has been really solid this season, so I'll give him an 8.5.
Yeah, that's a hockey scale, guys. Don't at him. Farouk.
7. Yeah, so I think actually the point is, I don't know why I feel like this season, like while KCM has been good, like Casemiro hasn't yet hit the strides, like he hasn't yet hit the levels he used to be at,
Some games I've seen him bossing, and then some games you find him, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like it's a case of two sides. Which side comes on a particular day is depends on like who puts the shot on, like the good Casemiro or the sloppy Casemiro. Like it's very interesting. On his off day he can be brutally bad, but on his day he is just immense.
Something like I'm giving him a 7, not because like he's been like average or something. It's just because I feel like there's an extra gear there that he's gonna hit, okay? And he hasn't gotten to that point yet, so that's why I just okay. For now, let's give a 7 that hopefully turns into 8 later in the future.
Yeah, at the end of the season when we'll be doing the season's player ratings, hopefully he'll catch on. Yeah, 7 for me as well. Let's keep it moving. Valverde. Fede.
Has he played a lot though this season? So I'm just thinking.
Much.
I think at the beginning he was playing a lot, but then once Cruz came back, he sort of went to the bench, and then he had his injury, and I think even the COVID thing. Maybe he didn't really have COVID. So yeah, I think he has really struggled to make an impact because of the injury.
Yeah.
So overall, for me, he's been slightly better than average. Probably I'll go for a 7.
Because actually, why I'm saying so is that because it's gonna be unfair to rate him based on because if you guys could recall, like in the first few matches, like we haven't hit our stride yet. If you guys could recall the share game and what is not. So and that was when Valverde was playing, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like rating him would be based on you're rating all the team was bad and like he was just part of the team then. So I don't know, putting him in that category might seem iffy. But anyways, I'll just give him a 5 just to
5.
Yeah, that's a 5 just to remain impartial.
I understand. Yes, something similar. I would give him a 6. He had some bright moments here and there, but nothing substantial of sort. So yeah, he has a big year ahead of him. Like he needs to step up, and we'll need him. We're competing in all fronts. 3 competitions as of now, and we need him. Tabayos, you guys know what's the deal. We need him. Talk about him much. Esco.
I think Isco has been like I wouldn't really rate him because what he had one good game, and after that he has disappeared, and the whole thing that he had with Ancelotti, I don't really know what to make of it. So for me personally, I wouldn't rate him.
You wouldn't rate him. Okay, Farouk.
Actually, I think was it earlier today? We were actually watching. I think I can't recall. Either it was earlier today or like yesterday during lunch. We're actually watching the what was it called? We were watching the games in 2017.
Yeah.
Make the diamond with Isco, and I was just wow, like this is just pure like poetry, man. This is literature, to be honest. Really, Isco was like there was a game against Atletico where like Cristiano scored the hat-trick at the Calderon.
Yeah,
like literally, like we watched like there was an extended highlight of like 20 minutes. Like Isco was just doing something else, man. It was pure field. Like these people had families, man. Like you're literally disgracing them, man. Like wow, Isco was so good, man. But now, man, I don't know what's up. But anyways, man, I'll just give him a 5 because he hasn't done stuff. So let's stop the reminiscing and let's just go.
You're reading here the same as Valverde. It's giving a 5, and
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I haven't seen any like impactful game from Valverde, same as Isco. So I haven't seen anything from Isco as well.
But I think Valverde has been better this season than Isco.
Sure.
Actually, yeah, that's why I said like I feel like for Valverde, because the most recent I can recall him is when we were in the bad situation. And other than that, he's just been like a sub, if I'm not mistaken.
But I think if overall Fede has had more impact on our season than Isco.
I think,
but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, Isco is just for history's sake, man. For that 2017 year, like it was just pure magic from Isco, man. Like just that. I feel like Isco was just the one season wonder at Madrid. Then, other than that one season, I don't think he actually had a season where he was like.
He has been more than a one season wonder. Like that's.
Well, the 2017 was when you could actually lay claim that Isco was one of the.
Right then, he was top 3 CMs in the world. Simple as that's his peak. Unfortunately or unfortunately, he has been part of a double and one. So yeah, like I wouldn't rate him as well. Nothing to go off on, apart from like Koke said, one game. Camavinga, big one.
Yeah, for me, Camavinga actually, I don't know. It might sound controversial, but like I still am just on the fence yet. I don't know what to make about Camavinga, to be honest. Like I don't know if he's just. I don't know. I just feel like it's. For me personally, I haven't seen things from him yet. I haven't seen anything from him yet. So
you think it's too early to give out a kind of a rating, but you need to rate him. He has been a huge part of good games, bad games, average games.
It's the point is this, like Camavinga has a lot of like good memories with us, but the point is Camavinga came during when we had like good spells. Okay, so like that's he scored I think the 3rd goal or the 4th goal in the first game, something like that. So like when Camavinga was getting gradually introduced into the team, like our form was getting better and better and better, and like Benzema was in the Ballon d'Or form, like literally anything was just going in, So that's why I feel like that goodwill also, like just, he's been transferred into that goodwill as well. So that's why I just feel like, Anyways, 5, man. That's just
for me personally. I don't really share the sentiment that Farouk expressed about Camavinga because I think first of all he's young, he's just 18, and the way he has performed has been really impressive. And the second fact is, for me, the game that really sold on.
Sorry for interrupting. The point is this: let's forget about age. Don't bring age in, because the point is, as long as someone gets into the pitch, it means he can do it. Even if you're 5 years old, you're being paid thousands and millions of euros to do this. Really, I don't care if you're 1 or if you're 10 or if you're 1 million. It doesn't matter. As long as
all the girls out there, Farouk is going to be horrible dad. Continue, Farouk. My bad.
So for me personally, the age is a factor because this guy has been signed for his future potential, right? But the fact is that even at 18, he's performing like this when not many players do. And the game that really sold me onto Camavinga was the game against Bilbao, because I think the second game against Bilbao, he really did well in a position that is not really his natural position. And the way he was stopping attacks in the second half, and the way he was recycling possession, he really sold. He sold me.
He's very erratic. Like he would do things an 18-year-old would do. Like he would lunge into tackles, overcome it and whatnot.
Yeah, his karate style tackles.
Yeah, karate style tackles and whatnot. But in my opinion, he will eventually grow into his own. Very soon.
But I would like to point out that his tackling has gotten better as the season has progressed.
Yeah, for sure. Initially, he was very nervous, man. You could see he's clearly nervous. It's a clear step up from his days at Rennes. This is a whole new level. So
yeah, for me personally, I would say Camavinga Although overall, I would say that he's been like, I think I would rate him a little bit higher than Fede, and I would say maybe 7.5.
Farouk,
Yeah.
angry young dad. Go on. Give you a
Sorry, I said a 5 for Camavinga. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I will actually rate him a bit like, okay, yeah, on par with, let's say, Valverde, we have another option. Yeah, a 5 would be good. But I just feel like, the point is that because he's 18 or like if he's 10 or if he's 11, doesn't really matter. Because we've seen, players who are at that age do the stuff. Because we've seen like Pedri at Barcelona doing the stuff. We've seen Gavi also to some extent, We've
Yeah,
seen
but Pedri is not challenging for La Liga, and Pedri doesn't have KCM in front of them.
Well, there's that as well. But the point is, we've seen like they've done it on the highest of stage, like and without any pressure. So we haven't seen Camavinga.
I wouldn't say Pedri has done it at the highest of stages.
Pedri has done it at the Euros, man. What else do you want?
Euros is not the highest of stage. National team football is not the highest of stages, man. Come on.
Unless you're gonna play the Champions League final, then what else?
Hot take. I told you guys there'll be hot takes. Someone just said Euro is at the highest level. Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, come on.
unless you're gonna, I don't know, like what are
I think a guy who's performing continuously at he has performed whenever he has gotten a chance in La Liga. He has done decently when he's played in the Champions League. I think club football and success at the club level, especially given the fact that he has players like Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric ahead of him, he's competing with them, and Fede Valverde, and he's still performing. I think a guy who's doing well in limited game time, I would say they're well. And in La Liga, I think Pedri, when it comes to Pedri, while he has done well with Spain and he has done well in La Liga, Barcelona have not challenged for La Liga, and Spain was sort of how do I put it? We were surprised that Spain went, as far as they did, and they did have an easier schedule compared to the other nations. And with Camavinga, you have to realize that he plays for France, and France are incredibly loaded in the national team. So, I personally think Pedri is has been good, and I think he was deserving of his award as the Golden Boy. But I wouldn't use Pedri's performances to compare it to Camavinga's, because Pedri is getting regular game time.
So actually, I'm not actually trying to compare Pedri and Camavinga here. I'm just trying to point out that we've seen people at that age perform. You understand? So that's what
the point I'm making is, like, if Camavinga gets Pedri's game time, he might put in the similar performances.
Maybe not. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like,
but he was really good with Stade Rennais, right? That was the reason why he got his move to Madrid when he was getting regular game time. He's one of the most talented and one of the best youngest midfielders that we have seen perform in Ligue 1 at the age of 16.
Yeah, he's been good, man. Like, I think this conversation will have more weight and more things to back basic arguments you guys are having towards the end of the season. As of now, Camavinga has been nothing but above average, and he has certainly exceeded expectations.
For someone. What are the expectations? That's the question.
The expectations is
not right? He was one of the best players, like in Ligue 1, like one of the best young midfielders, right? When he was at Rennes. So the point now is this: like, what was the expectation for Camavinga when he came to Madrid? My point is this: we don't have enough sample size to actually say, okay, this is what he is. Okay. So for example, now what I can say is that I can close my eyes blindly and say, okay, yeah, I can let Fede Valverde do this in a match against Liverpool or the City or like a Champions League final. But I can't say that for Camavinga right now because I haven't seen enough from him.
But just go with your heart.
Just to counter that point, I would say what expectation that we have for Camavinga is the ability to step in when one of the midfielders starting up in front of him are missing. And the fact is, like, towards the later half of the season, I would have been more comfortable with Camavinga coming on as substitute instead of Valverde, because Valverde has been slightly disappointing. Although I do agree with you that in big games, probably I'd go with Fede because he has experience. But that's the only thing that Camavinga is missing: experience. Overall, I think his performances have been good.
Anyway,
Sorry?
Fede is more of a wide midfielder, right? Anyway, like he is more suited to the wide role.
I think he's more of a box-to-box. Fede and Camavinga both are box-to-box, but I think Camavinga is a better distributor of the ball, while Fede has this ability to carry the ball across the lines that I haven't seen Camavinga do yet.
Anyways, just like I said, like, time will be the judge of this rather than
time will be the judge, man. Like, we are short of time. I don't like saying it, but We are short on time. We got to keep it moving. Blanco, very quickly.
I don't
Not
think
much.
we have anything to say about Blanco.
Charlie, Blanco,
Yeah.
like, yeah, nothing, man. Nothing.
Hasn't featured much. Moving on to the Burger King. Lo and behold, 100 million.
And he's a 6. He's a 6 for me because he's not really done anything this season.
Okay.
He's not
So what?
6 for me.
Did he say 6? Like 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, 6. For me, he's a 6.
Holy cow.
He's a huge fan of burgers himself, bro. Like,
Yo,
how can you?
If Mo was a writer like at a newspaper, he would be jobless right now. He would even be homeless. He would be homeless, not just jobless.
For me, even Hazard is a 6. I don't know who would I rate him above?
I can't
Like-
argue with that. You're
Man,
probably fine.
Hazard at best is a 3, man, and I'm just being polite, man. Really, Hazard.
Okay, for me, an average player, like for me, probably, I go below 6 only if they do something really horrible. Hazard for me has not done anything good and he has not done anything bad. He hasn't done anything actually. So for me personally, he's a 6.
Man, Hazard is a 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So he's a 3.
Hey! Farooq is the people's guy. Okay, 3, eh? I'm gonna do you one better. 2. That's 2. 2
Yeah.
fingers for the fucking anyway. That's it. Hazard has been shy, man. Like the expectation, the level of commitment, nothing. 0. Like I just hate myself for giving him a 2 because he should be realistically.
I do not agree on the commitment point because this guy has really worked his ass off like in training. But
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, let me just say something to you guys. You know, I could recall. I can't remember the year exactly, but I think it was the year where when I think was it 2015 or 16 when Neymar went to Paris.
I think it was 17.
17, right? Okay.
17, yeah, 17.
Yeah. So in 18, like actually, I was arguing with my brother that I would rather get Hazard over Neymar. Like that was how much I loved Hazard. That's why like I feel so disappointed. And like my brother was like, "Are you crazy? Like Hazard and Neymar are not even on the same level." You know? And I was like, really like watching Hazard is like pure poetry. And, you know, I was just waxing lyrical and saying garbage. And this man came and we gave him the holy number 7. The holy number 7.
How dare you, man? How dare you? You should have been like,
always giving him a 6. Holy God.
yeah.
At least I didn't give him a 7.
It's a okay scale. You know, just disregard it, bro. Like, tell me your rating, man.
4?
4, eh? So you moved from a 3 to a 4.
No, I said it's a 3, man. For Hazard, it's a 3. It's a 3 for
No,
sure.
Hazard is a 3. Okay. What did he send? We can cut the video later on. Okay, anyway. Hoke just texted me. Right. Moving on to Benzema.
Yeah, for me, Benzema is like one of the better performing players. I don't really know how you argue against that fact. And although I want to give him a 10, but that would be my Benzema bias because especially after how he performed in the last game. But still, I just try to hide my Benzema bias and I will give him a 9.99. Okay. So, but honestly, for me personally, he has been the best player. It's like apart from Courtois. So yeah.
Yeah, really, I'll give him a 9. So, as you just said, like apart from Courtois, like he's been the guy, really, like a 9 for Benzema. Man, what else can you say? Really, the guy is just on a different level.
I'm gonna give him a 10. 10. 3 players get the 10th. You know who's coming up next after Benzema, but absolute 10, absolute monster in attack. The way he has turned my perception. I used to argue with so many people back in college and back when I was in school. People used to ask me like, "What's this hype about Benzema? Like, what does he do? He doesn't score any goals. You know, he's not consistent. He misses sitters." There was a whole compilation of him going on where he's missing left and right. But I used to tell him there's a reason why he is the Real Madrid center forward for almost a decade. Like, if there wasn't anything to this guy's game, people would have like sent him off right away. He was signed at 19 or 20, if I'm not wrong.
21.
And 21, right? So the way he has carried himself and whatnot, immense, proper leader, proper captain.
Like, I agree with you. I'll just say this, like, as big a Benzema fan as I am, I thought after the 17-18 season, his career at Real Madrid was over. But the way he has come back from that season is like incredible.
That was the season he had 5 league goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, insane. Yeah, big ups to Kareem, the dream. Luka Jovic.
I think he has been better than I expected, so I'll give him a 7. But like, yeah, he hasn't gotten time to do, to show us what he can do.
Yeah, I think also I'll give him a 6 because really, as Mo said, he's been better than expected, to be honest, and I'm so pleased for him also actually. So yeah, a 6 is good.
For me, 6.5. He has been better than average for me. I expect a lot from him, and the fact that again, some guy has actually instilled some kind of hope, unlike the Burger King. I look forward to George having a very important role in the crunch part of the season. Lukas Vasquez.
Okay, for me, the lowest so far has been a 6. So I'll probably say the only other guy that I'm going to give a 6 is Mariano. So for me, Lukas Vasquez has been really disappointing from where he was last season. And I don't think he has really matched his performance from last season. So overall, I think I'll probably give him a 6.5.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna give Lucas a 5, but like I really do like Lucas, to be honest. So I'm just gonna be biased and give him a 6.
Oh, you gracious! Anyway, I'm gonna give him a 5. Bang average.
Yeah, it's to be honest, like he's even below average this season. But as I said, the bias towards him. Just let's.
Yeah, the Lord has followers. I get it. But he needs to step up his game, and we will need him to rotate the starters, and he needs to up his game. We're gonna be coming up against some big teams.
Yeah.
From now until May. Gareth Bale, Mr. Golf.
I think Gareth Bale, the question is of commitment, because that has always been the question with him, because he's never fit when it comes to Real Madrid. He's always fit when it comes to Wales. Overall, at the start of the season, he just gave us some hope that maybe the final season would be something good. But I don't think we have seen him in a Real Madrid shirt since. So overall, I think I'll just give him a 6.5.
I think it's 3 games, right? 3 or 4 games. I'm not sure how many games has he played.
I think it's 2 or 3.
I don't know. I think he played the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, and he scored a goal. So he provided a second body in the box, and I think he provides something that none of the other right wingers that we have do. So
the point is, as you just said, like it's just about the commitment issue with Gardo, or like he's always, because the point is, I don't know, but I feel like when Bale has been available and committed, like he's actually played good football. It's just that he's always never available playing golf or playing for Wales. And taunting Madrid fans and what is not. So it's just been that, and also he has a very big mounted agent. So there's also that with the Barnett guy or whatever he is. Yeah. Anyways, I'll give Bale a 6. I think just for all time sakes, like not because he's been that good, but for all time sakes, we have to respect the legends.
Just to be fair to Gareth Bale, I would just say that he doesn't play golf when we are playing the games. So.
We're gonna keep it moving, guys.
Okay, is he gonna play golf while you're playing games? No, of course, definitely not. He's gonna play golf when you're supposed to be in training or rehab or whatever.
It's long overdue. The golf jokes, eh? It's been going on forever. It's been like it's never gone. The fucking golf meme. Anyway, my golden boy, the biggest signing when I started watching, he was immense, and like I had so much hope for him. I still feel like he'll have some kind of a role to play until the end of the season. But yeah, adios, goodbye in March. In May. So Gareth Bale.
Do you have some information that he's getting injured in March or something?
I don't know, man. Like I could try to predict stuff, but with Bale, I tend to get everything wrong. It's just I feel horrible when I think about Bale and what he could.
There's only 2 games that I want him to come on. It's like the games against PSG, and I want him to bring the old Champions League Gareth Bale back and score some wonderful goals. After that, he can get injured and go back, as long as we just beat PSG.
I'll tell you now, bro. If we go deep into the Champions League, he'll have at least a clutch goal to save us. Mark my word. If we go deep into the Champions League and he's fit, he's available, and he gets used, he'll bag us a very crucial goal. It's just his destiny, man. He just ends up.
I hope so.
He just ends up at the right end of chances. Moving on. Let me start this one, bro. Let me start with Vinny Junior, Vinny the Vici.
Yeah.
Brilliant, magisterial. Out of this world stuff from someone who is improving day by day, week in week out. Perfect 10 for Vinicius. Okay.
For me personally, I agree. Vinicius has been much better than we expected, and the improvement that he has shown is
Yeah.
something really incredible. And I think I have mentioned it in older episodes that Vinicius, his growth has been the difference between Real Madrid of last season and this season. So
Yeah.
overall, while I want to give him a 10, I would still put him a peg below Benzema and Courtois, and maybe I would give him a 9.8.
Fair enough. 9.8. Farouk.
Well, to be honest, really, I had no intention of, but like I'll give Vinicius a perfect 10 as well.
Deserve.
I think this is what we define as growth in football. Like this is what it's all about. So
yeah.
You can see, when as we pointed out earlier, when we're talking about Camavinga, coming as a youngster, doing things erratic and what is not, and growing into. I don't know if I shouldn't use the word maturing because I think there's still room for improvement or to get there. But the growth there actually. Because I was gonna give him a 9, but just thinking about the growth, like you can compare from last season to this season, it's so huge when the difference is so much. So I feel he merits the number.
Yeah, personally, if I'm being honest, I think Courtois, Benzema, and Vinicius, all three of them deserve perfect 10s. But somehow I have to do a squad ranking in my head, and I think for me it's Courtois, Benzema, and Vinicius in that order. So probably that's why I'm just giving them randomly. But overall, personally, if my true feelings are, I think all three of them are perfect 10.
Perfect 10.
Wow, your true feelings are out. I pity your girlfriend, man. So you're just doing.
Okay, Farouk, take it easy. Calma. We're gonna tranquilo. So moving on to Rodrigo, man. Huge fan of the guy. What did you guys think?
A 6, man. Rodrigo also hasn't. He's just been above average a bit. He's not been anything special. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, he's the same as Asensio, 7.5.
Oh, sorry, Mo. Yeah.
Sorry, I just saying for me, I agree with Farouk, and for me, I'd rate him the same as Asensio, maybe 7.5.
Farouk?
Yeah. I don't know. I was just gonna add it was just about to be honest, I think he puts in a shift, he puts in a defensive shift when he plays with Carvalho on that wing. He makes it very difficult for the attackers and the fullbacks to actually bombard down that wing. So I think that's one thing we should point out. Actually, he actually puts in a defensive shift. Yeah, that's all.
For me as well, he has been just above average. I had very high hopes for him. I remember at one point I used to think Rodrigo will be the much better finished article, when compared to Vinny. Yeah. And if he made me think that, he has something going for him. And let me tell you again, I'm going to be the Champions League octopus now. Similar to what I predicted about Bale, he is going to have a couple of crucial goals if we go deep in the competition.
I think he already has had a crucial goal against Inter.
Yeah.
So, I think as a goal scorer, I still rate Rodrigo better than I rate Vinicius.
Yeah. So
probably, Rodrigo, I think next season we'll see the true Rodrigo.
Hopefully.
I'll give him a 6.5 as well. He got to improve so much, and I get I hope he gets the minutes like we all want him to. But even then, for me, in instances where he has been given minutes, it has been very underwhelming, where I think, oh my god, is this guy even good enough to start? And then he comes on another game as a sub and completely tears it up. So it's weird with his case. Yeah, 6.5 for me. Finally, manager Carlo Ancelotti.
For me, Carlo, I think I think he has done some good things with the attack and the way he has changed things in defense. So, but I have been disappointed with how he has handled the young players. Maybe initially I did not have the information about Miguel, so probably I would have to remove that information from my mind. But then still there's the question of Antonio Blanco. So overall, for me, I think for the good things he has done, and the way the team has performed, because I think for me personally, a manager rating and an average rating for the team is the same thing because the team is a reflection of the manager. So overall, I rate the whole team's performances this season to be a 9. So probably around the same thing, more probably an 8.5 or 9 for Carlo as well.
Farouk.
While try to, it's, as I think Mo is trying to point out, it's just difficult to rate the manager like without treating the team as a whole. And to be honest, like we're how many points clear, we won the group, and although we have to play Paris, unfortunately, well, it is what so just based on that, I think I'm thinking to go at 8, but just the point is really like Carlos.
I'll just go 8. I'm on the fence. I'll go 8. I love the guy. He has, like I've always said, greatest memory for me. La Decima, so 8 is fine. This is a slip up like the one I saw in 2015, in La Liga. I hope.
I think 2015 one was bad because that game against Atleti was incredibly bad.
4-0, right? I remember. Oh my God.
It was stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I think after Atleti we played Valencia.
Yeah, we lost that too, right?
Yeah, and I think we are playing Valencia on the weekend.
Holy! Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So yeah, I'll give him an 8, and he's been good. I hope he has the potential. Like, one advice I would give him: he always raises his left eyebrow. Come on, man, you could do the right one too. So, just maybe to bring in some.
Yeah, he needs some Botox.
Botox. Okay. Before we quickly wrap up, we are over time. I think we are. 1 hour 20 minutes into the episode. We should round this up in like 15 max. We have a huge game tomorrow against Alcoyano. Oh, how do you even say the name? I don't want to even say the name because I've tried saying it once last year and it was on a very bad day. Where I saw we were playing.
I think it's pronounced as Alcoyano.
Alcoyano. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Alcoyano. I remember last year, man, watching the game. Their stadium is basically like one of those random neighborhood stadiums that I used to play in when I was growing up, man. It's so damn peak. And I hope, like I've read elsewhere that like probably Carlo might be rotating maybe like max couple of guys, and the rest of them would be starters and whatnot. I hope he takes them seriously. These guys knock out Alaves 5-0 or something?
No.
I think they knocked out Levante, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they knocked out Levante.
That was yesterday or something. But before that, they didn't knock out Alaves.
No. They knocked out Levante, and before that, I think they played against Badajoz.
Oh, they didn't knock out Alaves?
No, Alaves is some other team.
Oh, yeah. It was another team. My bad. Okay, fair. But if they knocked out Levante, bro, they have something going for them. They're not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, okay, but on the other hand, like Levante is like the bottom team of La Liga. I think with like 7 points or 6 points. I'm not sure how many.
Yeah, but
they're having the worst season. Like they had the worst year in 2022. I think they barely won like a game or two last season.
Like Levante.
One of those games was against us. So.
God, this is peak. So, guys, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
So for me, again, for the game against Alcoyano, I think the player to watch out for is this goalkeeper, right? Jose Juan, because last season he frustrated us a lot.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he's the same guy. I think he's already 42 or something.
Oh my God!
I think their last game against Levante, he was once again the man of the match, just like last season. So he's probably the guy to watch out. And another interesting fact about Alcoyano is like Alcoyano is playing in the old Segunda B, is like Primera RFEF. So it's the third division of Spanish tier. It's the same stage that Castilla plays in, and currently they have the same number of points that Castilla but are behind them. So if we get knocked out to them again, it will be really shameful, man. Personally, it will be really shameful.
Benzema is not included in the squad, I read.
No, Benzema is out, and I think Modric is out. I was just like looking it up. Yeah, Benzema is out, Modric is out. And I think in defense is just Carvajal missing, and Mendy's out. Sorry,
Mendy's out with what?
Mendy's out of the squad list. He's not going to play tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Like, is he injured or something? No, right?
I think they're probably resting.
Okay.
Because Courtois is also not on the squad list. So
Yeah, Lunin, big match.
yeah, Lunin is starting tomorrow because Carlo confirmed Lunin will start. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I just keep my fingers crossed for Ceballos making an appearance off the bench.
Yeah, me too. Any predictions, or do we want to do predictions? I think we should.
No, man, for this game, I'm not doing a prediction because it could end up with a 5-0 or maybe they just beat us 1-0. So I don't know.
Either we trash them or like they shit us 1-0 or something like that. So I'm looking forward to a victory because I think like the guys will be like, yeah, we messed up at the weekend, so we just have to bounce back the best way possible.
Yeah. One final major question I want to ask you guys before we wrap this up. So since we are on the topic of Alcoyano and the Copa del Rey, how seriously do you take Copa del Rey all throughout your career? I mean, not career, all throughout your years as supporting Real Madrid. Like, how seriously have you?
So, like I told you, like I have told you guys, like a lot of times before, I started watching Real Madrid in 2002, and for me personally, at the beginning of the years that I started supporting, Copa del Rey was the tournament where you played players who were not, playing at all, or the other times if you wanted to send a message to those players. I remember in 2009 when we had the Alcorcon disaster.
Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah, so that time, if I remember correctly, it was like Pellegrini wanted to really send a message to Guti because he was not playing him, and so he started him in the game against Copa del Rey, and Guti was pissed. So that is the sort of image I have of Copa del Rey. I think overall, because of late the squads of the big teams have improved, so they have started taking Copa del Rey seriously, especially in Spain after Pep Guardiola did the 6 trophies in one season thing. So before that, they didn't really used to take it seriously. And for me personally, I still have the same mindset. And for me, I don't really, consider Copa del Rey as very important.
Yeah, actually, I think other than that as well, like being a Madrid fan, like we've not, how can I say, like we haven't had that tradition of, like waiting, like hoping to win this trophy. You understand? Like how can I say, like our obsession is just the Champions League and La Liga. Because I could remember like even while I was younger, growing up, like watching Real Madrid, I don't even remember watching, the Copa del Rey games. But, like although to be fair, like I think one of the biggest memories I have, like one of the most interesting ones, other than La Decima, I think a close second will be the Ronaldo's header against
Barcelona.
Barca. I think it was as the Marseille, if I'm not mistaken, it was Valencia.
Yeah.
I think that header also was such, with Barca just shitting on us 6-2, 5-0, winning the leagues and the Champions Leagues, the 6 trophies in 1 year. So it was just so relieving. But but then on the other hand, like winning the treble is something I want to do a lot. So I guess that might give some some
for me personally, this season I think Copa del Rey is just a distraction because I can't see us winning a treble. Maybe at best we win a double.
Yeah.
Maybe Copa del Rey and La Liga double.
But then even see us winning the double,
Yeah, maybe win the double. So
like I'll take a Champions League over the La Liga for sure.
Sorry?
I'll take a Champions League over the La Liga for sure. Like even if we bound to, like I'm not gonna say it, but like if I had a choice, I would just go with UCL. As a trophy.
Oh yeah. I think that sort of reflects the attitude of the fans and the club in general. Is Champions League is always higher than La Liga. But overall, for this season, I don't know how I rate our chances for Champions League. But Copa del Rey, I sometimes I feel it's just an added distraction because it just
it always was a consolation. Always will be a consolation.
Yeah.
Except if you're a Barcelona fan.
Barcelona fan is a different thing.
But the thing is, like Barcelona and Athletic Club, they have a political aspect for it being an important trophy for them. And
I get it.
Out there, so.
Yeah, it almost makes me feel horrible too because Gunners, we go with the FA Cups, but it's whatever.
So I think not choosers, man. As I said, beggars are not choosers, man. A club like Arsenal, just even if you give them just an empty plate, they want that, man. It's a trophy. I don't know.
The funny thing for me is the funny thing for me is like Arsenal when I was growing up was like one of the big teams, and Arsene Wenger did the invincible season when like I started watching football. So from there, Arsenal challenging for the Premier League has suddenly gone on to a point where people are saying beggars can't be choosers. So it's really like incredible.
Bro, if you want to see the real fall, man, it's not Arsenal, bro. It's United. It's Manchester United. They are the
I
biggest.
mean,
Not
they,
yet, man.
they
The
still
cycle,
have won the Premier League more recently than Arsenal. So.
well, the cycle for United is not yet complete, man. And the point is that United actually has the money, and the thing is that as long as you have money, you can get shit done. So,
and I think United has I don't know has this sort of an attraction. It's sort of like Real Madrid of England.
yeah.
So they will always have this aura about them, and players will want to play for them.
But they don't have the golden trophy, bro. So yeah, just to shut them off. Anyway, I think it's a wrap, boys. Until we come back again, and hopefully our second string team does a job tomorrow, and we need it like just to save our faces. Like we don't like none of us take the competition seriously, but we just need to get the job done and get back to winning ways. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Estén tranquilo.